so what we're going to do is it's actually a cold blue, but it's going to require boiling the piece and using hot water. So what I do is I have my hot plate, I have my pan here with distilled water. So I got distilled water in there and it's going to come up to a boil. I'm going to heat the piece that I want to blue. I'm going to apply the bluing, put it back in there, and I'll cart it off, and then we're going to repeat that process maybe several times so we'll get a nice dark blue. I'm going to do a butt plate. This is off an M1 carbine, and you can see there's no bluing on this. This thing is just shiny. And I think these were originally blued. I don't think this was a Parkerized piece. So we're just gonna hot cold blue it and kind of get it back to a nice dark finish to match the rest of the rifle and the rest of the metal on the rifle. Just gonna use isopropyl alcohol and a patch. I'm just gonna wet the patch, and maybe real wet, and we're gonna clean any kind of grease, any kind of oil off of this butt plate before I put it into the boil. And you see this is really clean. Nothing's coming off on the patch. I've already cleaned this once. I'm cleaning this again, and then we'll get this all nice and clean. We'll put it into the boiling water, get the part heated up. So we get a piece of hot metal, and that's where we're gonna actually cold blue a piece of hot metal. All right, so let's get this nice and clean. We'll let it dry, and then we'll put it in the boiling water. All right, I'm gonna clean both sides, even though I'm only gonna be bluing one. We'll get this all cleaned up. I don't want any kind of oil or grease, anything contaminating it, so I wanna make sure the entire piece is clean, even though I'm only gonna be bluing the part that you see. All right, get this all cleaned up and we'll get it into the boiling water. All right, so my water is boiling. I'm gonna take that little butt plate. I'm just gonna set it into the boiling water, that boiling distilled water, just long enough to let it heat up. And that's all. Just gonna give it a couple minutes. All right, it's boiling in the distilled water. Oops, trying to pinch it with this pliers. Here we got her out. You can see it's a little steamy. We'll set her down here on the, all right, let's go ahead and apply this cold blue. So let's get this out of the boiling water. Whew. I can see the steam coming off of there or not. It's going to dry almost instantly because of that hot steamy water. I just want to get a good shot of the blue hitting this bare metal. You can see the color change right here on camera. So we'll put just a little bit of blue on this patch. Got a little bit of cold blue on there. Just going to streak. Ooh, I don't know if is the camera picking that up? You can see how instantly we're getting that thing to blue. All right, so let me put a little bit more here on the patch. And see this little silver, kind of, if you see a silver piece, the silver end there. And no, it's silver anymore. Look at that. All right, so our butt plate, and it was probably Parkerized too at one time, but now it's blued, at least a cold blue on there, and cold blue does not smell very good. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put it back into the boiling water, kind of rinse it off, and we can take it back out, and we can repeat this process as many times as we want and get that blue maybe darker and darker every time we do it. They're warming up, it's in there boiling away. Let's take it back out. We'll hit it with another coat of this bluing. Get a little blue there on the patch. There we go. Now we're getting, oh my goodness, yeah. Now if you can see, we're just about black. A little bit of bluing on that patch. Rub that in. put that back in the, we're getting a nice dark color. Put that back in the water. You can hear it boiling away. All right, so just after a couple cycles, you can see that it is much, much darker. It's the same darkness as that screw, so that's all gonna match. It's gonna look really nice when it's put back on the rifle. Let's put a little oil on this and see what we got. Just use a little bit of gun oil. So we'll take that patch. Just kind of spread that around. That oil is going to stop it from doing any additional rusting. There we go. We got a nice dark blue. Oil the inside so that doesn't rust. After boiling and degreasing, you're setting that metal up to rust, and we're trying to limit that here at this point. The bluing is a controlled rusting. How about that? Even a cold blue. All right. All right. And there we are now after the cold bluing, and it's significantly darker. Looks like a real bluing. Ready to put that back on the rifle. There we are. Nice. Look at that. The way it should be.